Students, Jai Swaminarayan. Uh, this is Professor Urvish Mewada, HOD Electrical Department, Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Bhat Gandhinagar. I am the subject matter of Industrial Instrumentation subject, which is in the 7th semester GTU, and the GTU subject code of this subject is 2170913. Students, in the chapter number 2, lecture number means we have till date we you see the total lectures, three lectures for this chapter number 2. Now this is the fourth lecture, and in the fourth lecture we have the topic number 4 is strain gauge circuits. Now let's see the analysis of strain gauge circuits. So this is the diagram of ballast circuit is drawn over here. So generally ballast resistance is the compensating resistance for the strain gauge. So in this circuit you can see that RB is the ballast resistance, and in parallel we have the strain gauge, so by which we are measuring the strain, and both are connected in parallel. V1 is the input voltage of this circuit and output voltage is VO. So from this diagram we can see that we are using ballast over here as a compensating circuit of strain gauge. So let us analyze this circuit first. So if Rg is the resistance of the strain gauge, the output voltage when the gauge is not strained means we have not applied any strain on the strain gauge. Let's see the output voltage formula or equation of this ballast circuit. So V output is equal to, we have these two resistances are parallel, so the voltage will be divided. So we can write the equation or formula for the output voltage of the with the help of voltage divider circuit. So that is Rg divided by the total resistance of this circuit is Rb plus Rg, means ballast resistance plus the gauge resistance, and Vi is the input voltage. Let put it as a equation number 1. Now this was the condition. The strain gauge was not strained, or the strain was not applied. The output voltage that we get when the strain was not applied. Now let's see when the gauge is strained, means when the gauge is applied with the strain. So the output voltage will be changed. So V0 will become delta V0, and the change in the resistance, that is the strain gauge resistance, will become DRG. So let's consider this. So the equation will become RB upon RB plus RG square into change in resistance, that is DRG plus VI. Let's solve this equation. So means here we are taking the Rg, means at the numerator and denominator. So Rb into Rg divided by Rb plus Rg square into Drg by Rg into Vi. So by solving this we will get the dv0 into Rb into Rg divided by Rb plus Rg square, and this drg means drg by rg will become the gauge factor, means so gauge factor equation is gauge factor into the strain applied, means gauge factor into epsilon into Vi. So from that we can see that the output voltage is directly proportional to the gauge factor and the strain applied. So as we have the large gauge factor, so the it can be used for the wide range, and as we increase the strain on the strain gauge, so as the output voltage also will also be increased. So that's why from this equation or formula we can say that both are directly proportional. Let's see. So the change in the output voltage when the gauge is strained, so it is directly proportional to the strain applied. So so from the previous expression, that is from that equation we can say that the uh, the output voltage when the gauge is strain is directly proportional to the strain. So the maximum sensitivity can be obtained because sensitivity is directly proportional to the gauge factor, and gauge factor is directly proportional to the output voltage. So that's why by using the ballast circuit, the maximum sensitivity can be obtained, and the ballast resistance is equal to the strain resistance of the gauge. So as I already explained that in the previous slide, that is it is the compensating resistance. So both resistance having the same value, so the RB is equal to RG, means ballast resistance is equal to gauge resistance. So the total voltage sensitivity will become S is equal to change in voltage, means delta V0 divided by epsilon, means the strain applied, and the VO is G gauge factor into epsilon divided by 4 into V1. So this equation will become S is equal to 1 by 4 GF into E uh, into Vi. So from this we can write that the sensitivity is directly proportional to the gauge factor and the input voltage. So voltage sensitivity as is defined as the ratio of change in the output voltage delta V0 to the strain applied. So the error introduced by the circuit means non-linearity is very small, and for normal strain measurement of the say 100 microstrain, so we can determine the strain by using such ballast circuit up to 100 microstrain. And the disadvantage of the circuit is that it exhibits some initial voltage, say whenever the stress is not applied on this strain gauge, this circuit will show uh, some output voltage. So we need to calibrate this gauge before using. So we have to minimize that additional voltage that are shown when we switch on the circuit. uh, Even if we have not applied the strain, we need to compensate that voltage, because that can generates the error while we measure the strain with the help of strain gauge. So it has to be balanced to zero value to monitor the small variations of the voltage appearing because of the strain. So this is the drawback can be eliminated by using the Weston bridge. So let's see how it can be minimized. So this is the we can say updated version of the ballast circuit, so bridge circuit for the strain gauge. So the most commonly used method is Weston bridge. So as you already studied the Weston bridge, in Weston bridge we have the four resistances, and that can be connected with the supply, and the resultant of the arms of the Western bridge will be the will be will be equal to the measurement quantity that we are measuring with the help of Western bridge. So we are using the four arms, that is R1, R2, R3 and R4. So it has the null detectors, the galvanometer, which we can connect between two parallel arms. So that will deflects only when the arms will become unbalanced. So unbalancing can be achieved, means here we have the variable resistance, say strain gauge. So whenever we apply the strain on this circuit, the deflection of the galvanometer, we can see the deflection of the galvanometer, and by as the arms of this Western bridge will get unbalanced, and we will get the output in terms of electrical voltage in the galvanometer. So This bridge is used for the measurement of resistance of resistive transducers like strain gauge and thermistor, RTD, etc. This will means thermistor application of Western bridge in say thermistor and RTD we will see in the next consequent chapters. So measurement is done by the balancing the bridge. If the bridge is balanced, the equation will become R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. So if R1 is unknown, then we can determine R1 by making R1 subject in this. So R2 by R4 into R3. So for the measurement of resistance of the strain gauge across the terminal A and B, we will see the circuit in the next slide. So for form 1 of the arms of the bridge, so let R1 represent the resistance of the strain gauge transducer, whose values depends upon the material used to make the strain gauge. So we have different materials in the strain gauge that we already discussed. So the material, according to the material we use for the strain gauge, its resistance will change. So let's see. The bridge balancing can be achieved by adjusting the value of R3. So here is the circuit. This is, you can see that this is the variable arm R3. Suppose all the resistances are say 1 ohm. This is also a 1 ohm, but this is variable resistance from 0 to 1 ohm. So whenever any strain is applied, the resistance of this R3 will change. Means whenever the say strain is not applied, all the resistances having the same value, and whenever the strain is applied, according to the strain applied, the resistance will change. And as this resistance will change, this all four arms will become the unbalanced, and so as the galvanometer which is connected between D and B will show the deflection according to the strain applied. So let's see the previous slide. Bridge balance voltage BD will be 0, means no deflection in the galvanometer when the strain is not applied. When there is a change in R1, means bridge becomes unbalanced and galvanometer shows the deflection according to the stress applied. Means R1 is the resistance, means it is the strain gauge. So as we apply the strain, the resistance of the R1 will change, and R3 is the compensating resistance. So we can compensate, or we can say balance that circuit. We can achieve the balancing of that bridge by adjusting the value of R3. So voltage across BD will be modified by amplifier. Means if the value that we get is small value and it is not say capable to measure, it needs to be amplified. So by amplifier, we amplify that signal and transfer it to the recording and display section, which can record or say display that the output quantity, and the bridge output voltage can be calibrated in terms of the strain to be measured. So the output voltage between BD is the difference between the voltage across BA and DA. So VBA minus VDA is equal to V out. Let's see the circuit again. So here we are applying the strain, and this is the balancing circuit, balancing resistance. So the V out for this circuit is the these are the resistances, means opposite arms. See, let's consider R1 and R3. Sorry, R1, sorry, of this section, means A to C, means we are dividing in AC. So this is the section, means R4 and R3 are creates one arm, and R1 and R2 creates the second arm. So we are considering the combined effect of resistance over here, that is R1 divided by R1 plus R2, and for this side it is R4 divided by R3 plus R4. So Vs is equal to means V out or Vs is equal to Vs into R1 means, let's solve this. So this will become R1 R3 minus R2 R4 divided by R1 plus R2 into R3 plus R4. So when the voltage across BD is 0, so bridge is balanced. So as we written this equation at the starting of the theory, R1 by R2 is equal to R4 by R3. So let the application of the strain, the resistance of the each resistance change by delta R1, then delta R2, delta R3 and delta R4. So this will become V out is equal to, this is V out is equal to, this is the printing mistake, V out is equal to Vs into R1 plus delta R1, R3 plus delta R3. This equation we are keeping same, but we are just putting the value of change in the resistance. This, so R2 will become delta R2. So this is how we can write the equation by adding the resistances which changes after strain applied. So solving the above expression, that will become V out is equal to Vs into delta R1 by R1, say delta R2 by R2 plus delta R3 by R3 and delta R4 by R4, and the equivalent resistance of the resistance arm R1 and R2 is R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So since we have R1 is into R3 is equal to R2 into R4 when the bridge is balanced, so R1 by R2 is equal to R4 by R3 is equal to A. So uh, V out is equal to this, we are replacing this by A. So uh, uh, A by A1 plus A square. So this is nothing but the equation of gauge factor and the strain applied. So for this R1, that is gauge factor is G1 and strain applied is epsilon 1. Similarly for the R2, it is G2 into epsilon E2 plus R3, it is G3 into epsilon 3, and for R4 it is G4 epsilon 4. This is the minus value. This is again a printing mistake in this the formula. So where G1, G2 and G3 and G4 are the gauge factors, and epsilon 2, epsilon 1, 2, 3 and 4 are the strain developed. So the three configuration are possible of the bridge. So first is the quarter bridge configuration. So only in the quarter bridge configuration, only one arm of the bridge is active, say R1, other arms having the fixed resistance. So for initially R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 is equal to R4. So delta R1 is equal to delta R2 is equal to delta R3 is equal to delta R4 for the such such kind of circuit. So no output voltage is voltage reduced to, so that's why V out will become Vs into gauge factor of epsilon means resistance 1 divided by 4 is equal to Vs by 4 into gauge factor epsilon 1 is equal to delta R1 by R1. So this is the first configuration. Now the second configuration is the half bridge configuration. So in the half bridge configuration, the arms R1 R2 are the strain gauges under the strain. So in the previous case only R1 was the strain gauge. Now in this R1 and R2 both are the strain gauge. The remaining two arms have the fixed resistances compared to these arms. So R3 is equal to R4, and therefore delta R3 is equal to delta R4 is equal to 0. So if the R1 is equal to R2, then the gauge factors of both the resistances G1 and G2 is equal to G, and epsilon 1 is equal to minus epsilon 2 is equal to epsilon. So sorry, epsilon 1 is equal to epsilon 2 is equal to epsilon. Comparing this two, this is the printing mistake, this is not the equal. Now sorry, this is the equal, there is no minus, it means E2. So delta R1 by R1, this is the resistance that we are changing, and this is the R2, delta R2 by R2. So V out will become Vs by 2 into delta R1 by R1. So this is the equation from which we can determine the output voltage when we use the half bridge configuration. So therefore the sensitivity of the half bridge configuration is twice. You can see that over here from this equation, it is twice that of the quarter bridge configuration. Now full bridge configuration. So this is the third method that we can use for the that is the third configuration that we can use for the bridge circuit, means Western bridge circuit. Then the full bridge circuit, full bridge configuration uses all four arms active gauges, so two arms under tension and two arms under compression. So say R1 and R3 are the in the tension mode, and the R2 and R4 are the compression mode. So R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 is equal to R4. So gauge factors of all the resistances are G1, G2, G3 and G4. So say is equal to G, and epsilon 1 is equal to epsilon 2 minus epsilon 2 is equal to epsilon 3 is equal to minus epsilon 4. So V out is equal to the equation is Vs into gauge factor into epsilon. So Vs into gauge factor is delta R1 by R1 for this change in resistance of the resistance 1. So under constant voltage excitation, means as we give the input constant, the voltage sensitivity is given by S is equal to V out by epsilon. So S is equal to that, we have the equation from the previous case. S is equal to A upon a 1 plus A square into Vs into G. So this is the full bridge configuration. From that we can determine the sensitivity of the gauge. Now after the this topic, we have the assignment questions. These are the assignment questions. These are not the worksheet question. Derive the expression for the ballast circuit for the strain gauge, and define different bridge circuit with the necessary expression. So you can take the snap of this slide and the related instructions which are written below the assignment questions. Please read it carefully, and if you have any doubt or any means further doubt after watching this presentation, so we can solve your doubt in the doubt solving session, or you can directly call me. Feel free to call me. Thank you very much, student. Thank you all. Jai Swaminarayan.